Um,
So should I? Are you gonna kick us off, or should I just say, "Yo, what's up, Bob here, Dylan from Noble Records, coming at you with another video"? Right? Ain't that what we say?
that's what we say, man. That's
Yeah,
what we say.
yeah.
So Bob and I, recording. Bob and I are going to show 5 records we think you should know about. So let's do it this way, Bob. You kick us off and show us one, and I'll show one, and then we'll show them all. You don't have to go into too much detail, but you can if you'd like.
It's all good. You know how it is. Boom, coming in hot. Frank Zappa, shut up and play your guitar, right? On Barking Pumpkin Records, right? Uh, this is radio promo, gold label promo copy, right? And if you don't know about this record, it's outtakes of live performances, all Zappa solos. So it's just all mind melding, face burning guitar solos. Just a whole record of that, right? And the cool part about this is Steve Vai plays rhythm for Zappa on most of these tracks, right? Vinny Colaiuta on drums. This is total beast mode. It's a hard record to get. So if you've never seen it or you don't have it, shut up and play your guitar, Frank Zappa, Barking Pumpkin. There it is.
I've seen this other one. Isn't there like a 2 or 3 LP version that's like a box set with him sitting back, he's holding this like sick Les Paul with like 3 humbuckers on it or something?
That's correct. That's an interesting thing about that record is each song on the back of the album, it lists how it was recorded, where it was recorded, and which guitar he used. And it's usually either a handmade SG copy or a Les Paul with DiMarzio pickup. So, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome.
These might be just like a bunch of guitar records because I've got some too.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, pretty much like my favorite records are either like singer-songwriter country music stuff or just like killer guitar stuff, which is like that's where I gravitate to. So this is Black Murda. Now this is a reissue. I don't know if you're familiar with the original covers like Yellow. But it's this band called Black Murda. The great comp out called the Psychedelic Sounds of Black Murda or something, and that was easy to get. But Black Murda is like very much in the same line as Funkadelic Maggot Brain,
Right.
but really great guitar stuff. There's some like little bluesy numbers on here that are real laid back, but then there's just some great hard funk rock with some just mind-bending guitar stuff on it. This is one that just when I heard it, it just completely blew my mind. So that's something that if you're into that type of thing, Black Murda, 1970, great stuff.
Awesome. I'm going to go somewhere a little bit different. I'm going with, now I just picked I had a stack of records that I've been playing and I just grabbed them. So, it's a bit random. So, boom, Misfits, Earth A.D., right? This is first press, right? And to the non-initiated, you might put this record on and think, wow, that really kind of sounds, because the audio quality is quite, it's, they did it themselves. It's quite DIY. And this was 2 records, right? It's Earth A.D. and then, sorry about this, it's going to be a sound. But if you open it up, right? Wolf's Blood. There's a second cover. There's 2 covers, 2 different artists, right? And an important thing about this record is if you have the first pressing, I don't know if you can see this, but you can kind of see the light coming through it, right? But let me get this. See that? Flashlight. This is actually like a translucent dark brown. So it looks black, when you look at the record, but it's not. It's clear. So that's an easy way to tell if you have one of the first pressings of the record. I got turned on to the Misfits like most people through Metallica, on the Garage Days record, Green Hell, Last Caress, and they made the Misfits sound better than they ever sounded. But that's how I felt about it then. Now I really appreciate what the Misfits do for what they do, you know. So yeah, the Misfits Earth A.D. Wolf's Blood. You gotta get it. You gotta have it. It's a must have, you know.
I got that in a collection months ago, and I sold it. And I really wish I had kept it. I know it's original press too. It was the brown. I remember the brown vinyl and everything. And I know that there's a lot to do with like the color of the bricks too. Like they have to be a certain shade of purple and like all this stuff. But it's just one. I was like, man, I really like the shop had just opened. And I needed some good traffic in there. So that one, vanished real quick. It was gone. But I'll get it again. Yeah, I've had it twice actually, but I've never really gotten really deep into the Misfits, but I need to. I know they're good. I just haven't gone there. So
it is what it is. You know, I can't recommend it enough. If you ever need someone's skull or anything like that, the Misfits might be for you. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it goes. Yeah. So go ahead, Bill.
My next one, you're good, man. So my next one is called Nothing. You don't know. I don't talk about music like this ever. But I really like the album. It's 2014. I think it's the second pressing. Pretty cool vinyl on it. But this one is like sound shoegaze type record. In 2014, I was like really into this type of thing. But this guy, I can't remember the guy's name, but the lead singer of this band was in like a hardcore band, and he ended up at some show. Somebody attacked him and with a knife and tried to stab him, and he ended up, as far as I can remember, he took the knife from him and stabbed him and killed him. So it was self-defense, but he still got 2 years in prison for it. So he was in prison for 2 years, and allegedly he wrote this while he got out, put a band together, and it's not hardcore. It's just really shoegazy, kind of My Bloody Valentine vibes to it. Really good record. I can't imagine you not liking it. It's really great stuff.
It seems like
yeah, it's sick. So I haven't listened to it in a while, but I was going through and I was like, I'm gonna show some things I don't normally show. I'm always about the psych and obscure stuff, but this is one I actually really like. One of the newer records that I like. Newer as in 6 years old, but still.
All right. That's cool though. Kind of a bit of an intense story there. Listen, I'll tell you what. Well, let's chill a bit here, okay? Bam, Michael Hedges, Aerial Boundaries. If you don't know, Michael Hedges, acoustic guitar virtuoso. Primarily plays Martin guitar, but every once in a while you'll see him with this Dyer harp guitar, which is like, it's a 6-string acoustic, but it has 4 bass strings at the top. And if you just Google, Michael Hedges Aerial Boundaries, you'll know what Hedges is about right away. He's like the first dude that ever started kind of slapping and hitting the guitar as like kind of a percussion thing. And he's a perfect master of it. He does it like nobody else. Everybody else is kind of cheesy and overdone. He does it the right way. Unfortunately, at some point, Hedges got involved in some kind of polyamorous marriage situation and got involved in cocaine, and then mysteriously ended up dead on the side of the road. Who knows what happened? They say it was a heart attack. We're going to go with it, okay? But incredible record. If you've never heard this record, you have to hear it. It's new. It's kind of new agey, but you're talking about a true guitar virtuoso. I mean, we're talking about a guy who basically he was featured in Guitar Player so many times because he's just a beast a beast. You want to talk about a perfect sound? Michael Hedges' acoustic guitar. Now, he didn't really use bronze acoustic guitars. He's used electric set on his acoustic. And when you hear it, you'll be like, holy smokes, I can't believe it. I mean, it's incredible. So, Michael Hedges, Aerial Boundaries, it's on, Yeah, it's on Windham Hill. And if you ever get any of these Windham Hill records, there's a lot of them in the dollar bin, and they come in these super nice, heavy inner sleeves. And, and it's just like they cared about this stuff, man. They really did. They cared about those records when they put those out, because it's like audiophile stuff. It really is. It's very high quality. Yeah.
Is that an inexpensive record?
It's maybe about $12. Yeah.
I've seen them before. I think I've had them before, but I don't think I've ever listened to it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. The whole Andy, he's the one everybody knows that does the guitar spanking. So interesting. Yeah, interesting stuff for sure. My third is just St. John. I don't know if you know this one. It's called Ask Me No Questions. This is like if Karen Dalton means Joni Mitchell meets Tracy Chapman. It's just female folk. It's a little bit off the beaten path. It's not kind of as straightforward as Joni Mitchell. She's got the most interesting voice, man. It's really good, but it's something you just have to hear. But first time I heard it, I was like, wow, I've never heard anything like that before. Have you ever heard of Karen Dalton?
Yeah.
She's most like Karen Dalton, I'd say, but like just an incredible songwriter, and just her voice is it's got such a rich, like deeper tone to it for a lady. It's really good, and I like this a lot, and I don't really know much to say else about it. It's a 1970, but this is one that's highly recommended over here at the garage of Noble Records. So.
All right. Let's take this to freaking Bob Bradley land for a second.
I want to go there. I pack bags.
Bam! Inner Visions, double. You know what I mean? Listen, we're gonna back up for this. Inner Visions, Too High, Boogie on Reggae Woman. Okay, this is funky. Okay, super funky. Just look at the cover. Just look at it. There's an internet conspiracy that Stevie Wonder can actually see. Okay, people have seen him driving cars. He caught a mic stand once. I mean, who knows what's going on with this guy? All I can tell you is he's responsible for some of the funkiest stuff around. He's an insane drummer. He's awesome on the keys. I mean, he can play harmonica. I mean, so insanely good. I mean, he's playing full compositions on the harp like he's, I'm going to go obscure, like he's Jason Ritchie or the dude from the Blues Traveler. Okay, he can burn on the harp, Mississippi saxophone, if you will. I mean, Inner Visions on Tamala. You got to have two. I'll have as many copies as I can find. If they're brand new looking, I buy them, okay? Period. Stevie Wonder, Inner Visions. You know what I'm saying?
I have heard the conspiracy about him being able to see, and
it goes around.
He's too good to be able to see. I think you're right.
I think he's legally blind, and he can, see faint shadow kind of things. Like he can't really see. But he can. He kind of knows when things are near him, I think. Just because, I mean, Shaq told a story where he got in an elevator and Stevie Wonder just walked in and said, "Hey, what's up, Shaq?" And he was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he hadn't even spoke to him yet or anything. So it's just like, okay, whatever. Maybe Stevie Wonder can see. I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, sure.
He may have some.
He probably does. He's got Stevie sense.
Too High is on here, and it's incredible. Okay, everybody needs to hear that track. Too High. It's the first song on the records. It's amazing.
Yeah. And Hazel. Games, Dames, and Guitar Things.
Yeah, man.
Fun. It's just a fun time.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's got, oh gosh, I Want You, She's So Heavy, a Beatles cover. But Eddie Hazel is known to be the blazing guitar behind Maggot Brain. we're back in Maggot Brain land.
Yeah, man.
But just a player. Oh yeah, he's very underrated. A lot of people don't talk about him. He was just a genius. This is very, very good. It's like it's amazing. I find him very regularly, and just look on down. But Eddie Hazel is just an incredible guitar player. He has some sweet guitars. Look at that black Les Paul he's got there. You know, I mean, this is art. He really did have a black guitar, black Les Paul.
You go
so
with the black Les Paul, yeah.
you can't. 1977. I don't know what else to say except for Eddie Hazel. You need to know.
He's melting faces, yeah. Fact.
Yeah.
He's straight melting faces. Eddie Hazel is. Speaking of melting faces, bam, Coltrane, Lush Life, first pressing, right? On that Prestige label, right? The saxophone on this is so clear and beautiful sounding. This is a mono record, and I don't know if anybody watches any of my videos, but I recently just discovered a mono switch on my preamp. Who knew? I didn't know. And I said, hey, what's that switch doing? Boop, 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 boop. And I was in mono, and all of a sudden I put this sucker on. And I got to tell you, this was recorded at the original location for Rudy Van Gelder's studio, and it sounds so incredible in there. Okay, I mean, Inglewood Cliff sounds great too, but that original location sounded so good. Coltrane, this is early in on the Coltrane experience, Lush Life, and he's just absolutely on fire. Track 2, I Love You is what it's called, is that one knocks me out every single time I hear it. And the cover is what I wanted this record for so long. Was at a record show. Some flea market dudes were there, and they sold it to me. I ended up buying like 6 records that day, $25 a piece. So this was one of those records, and it goes nowhere. It stays with me forever. So
remember that. But you got some other really jazz heaters in that hall, and that
I did. Yeah,
I was a little jealous.
Yeah. And it's a bummer because there was a bunch of record shows coming up here, and they've all been, of course, canceled or postponed. I like to say postponed, but they're going to come back around. But all the record shops are shut down. I know that you're now observing the quarantine as well in that manner, so it's kind of a bummer.
But we're just gaining strength. We're going to come back stronger than ever and with more records than you can handle. So my last pick is this one, Wild Sweet Orange. We have cause to be uneasy is what it's called. I don't know how common this record is. I don't know if anyone's ever heard it. It has a MySpace link on the back, so it's good.
Nice.
But I hate to say it, but I actually discovered this record on MySpace. Back in the day, this was 2000. Yeah, 2003 or 4. I don't know how I found them, but I started listening to them. They just blew me away. It was a band from Birmingham, Alabama, and just incredible. I wanted the record so bad, but I couldn't get it. I don't know if they offered it online or whatever. I actually went to one of their live shows wanting to get a copy. They didn't have me there. And I was just like dying for it. I'm like, 18, 19 years old. And I was like, oh, whatever. I'll never. Oh, yeah. And I never find one. And then about 10 years ago, I was in Asheville, North Carolina, and this was at a yard sale. And I could not believe it. But it's very much kind of indie rock. I want to say not quite Coldplay, more like Death Cab for Cutie, but they have a very unique sound, and it's another one. I burned seasons off friends. Absolutely everybody who heard it loved it. It's just one of those things. But like when I heard it, in a DeLorean back in time, 88 miles an hour, and I'm 18 years old again, just living the dream. So check this out. It's called Wild Sweet. It costs to be uneasy. If you can find it, I don't know how accessible this is. I don't know if you can look it up online. I don't know, but if you can find it, find it. It's great. There's a guy. His name's Preston Lovinggood, and he is the main songwriter for that band. And he's actually touring. He's incredible. He's actually a friend of mine now. So, but anyway, all that to say,
I have to look into that.
Sure.
Dylan, I did bring a bonus record though.
I knew you would. Let's see it.
Are you ready? This is just for you. I'm gonna lower it in. Oh yeah, you know what this is.
I know.
Led Zeppelin, live at the Los Angeles Forum. That's right. 9/4/70. Rubber Dubber. Gets it. Yes, sir. $6 it is. That's right.
Yep.
King of the bootlegs. King of the Zeppelin bootlegs. As how I consider you, sir. And this is the only one I have. This was lost in my house for for 8 years. I found this in a newspaper rack recently. Just pulled it out. It was like, holy here it is. Blue labels. Mike the Mike?
Yeah. No, I think no? Should have been. Yeah. So, that's a hard one to find, and it's actually pretty valuable.
Oh, good.
I don't know how much you paid for it. I got a deal.
No. This was from my wife's record collection, okay? When we moved in this house in 2003, I had a record player in the kitchen. When I would cook, I would listen to records. And I took a handful of records and took them upstairs, okay? At some point, she took those records and stuffed them in a newspaper rack in the house, okay? Like a magazine rack thing, right? Like a week ago, she's cleaning it out. We're in the quarantine. She's like, what is all this? And pulls this out. And I'm like, what the hell? Give me that. Because I know it's a valuable record. It's a freaking Zeppelin bootleg. So I'm just like, geez Louise. So I cleaned it up and popped it on, and the Lemon Song and Communication Breakdown and Whole Lot of Love came on, and I was pretty stoked on it.
I got mine actually at a yard sale. It was one of those yard sales where it was a state sale, and all the records were like $50 to $100 each. And I pulled this out, and I'm like, how much you want for this? I'm thinking, if he says 50, I'll probably buy it. He's like, I don't know. Literally, he said, I don't know, $6. I'll take $6 for it. And I got it for $6. So,
sticker price. That's right. Yeah, man.
It'll blow your mind. I might not blow your mind, but check this out.
Maybe.
Jimi Hendrix on the Rubber Dubber. Live at the LA Forum, April 25th, 1970. It's a great bootleg. There's lots of different. So, was it you that had the Jimi Hendrix bootleg that looks like the Coca-Cola cover?
Mm-hmm.
That's this same bootleg. So,
okay, cool.
Anyways, but this is just the Rubber Dubber cover. The Rubber Dubber are usually really good. I think I have a Rolling Stones one too. I can't remember, but really great bootleg.
Those Stones ones are worth a lot of money.
Yeah, man. I could be pulling out all night, but yeah, I've got some pretty sweet Stones. I used to have one from the band that was on, but yeah, great series of boot film.
Yeah, I love it.
Do you have any weird record collecting habits you want everyone to know about? Like, I know you buy multiple copies.
Yeah. But only recently, since I started comparing audio, the sound quality of the pressings. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Everything I do is kind of strange. So it's, I don't know, like, I mean, if I see, if I see, a clean copy of the first Michael McDonald record, yeah, less than $5, I'm buying it. You know what I'm saying? But and then the strange part about it is there's like a hierarchy of my records where like I might put like a crystal clear sleeve with a flap on a Michael McDonald record with a MoFi inner sleeve. And then as soon as I get something good and I don't have a crystal clear sleeve with a MoFi inside, Michael McDonald goes back to like some used sleeve, and Lush Life gets a facelift. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm constantly rotating the sleeves of my record. When I sell records, I take the sleeves off and I keep them and stuff. I'm not giving you any MoFi inner sleeves, Dylan. If I come to Noble Records to sell records, you're not getting MoFis, okay? You're getting that crusty off-white with maybe like a watermark on it. You're getting that, okay?
Or like
and they're all crinkled up. And I'm just gonna be like, yeah, dude, this is how I keep my records. Sorry, that's what it's gonna be like. I don't. Meanwhile, I've got a stack of mint MoFi inner sleeves at the house that I'm hoarding.
I do.
So that's probably weird stuff.
I do hoard them myself. So, what do you most copies of? Do you think?
What do I have the most copies of?
Yeah, like, is it a Jeff Beck record? I know you like Jeff Beck.
No, it's Sabbath. It's something Sabbath. It's probably Master Reality or something like that. Once, obviously had the first U.S. press, and then when I got the Vertigo, and then pretty much, yeah, man. Anytime I come across a really clean copy of one of the first 4 Sabbath records, it's coming home. If it's, I recently got a number 4 that was just dead mint U.S. And I was like, I gotta buy this. And then I swear, the very next day, I seen another one that was just like never even been opened at Half Price Books, and was like, oh God. And I didn't buy it. I called a friend and was like, hey, get up here and buy this right now, because I can't buy another one. So yeah, I got a bunch of Sabbath stuff. I got a bunch of Zeppelin stuff. I got a bunch of I got like 4 copies of Soul Train, the Coltrane record. Sometimes if you see something, you just you can't. I got about 5 copies of the Nightfly. I can't leave this stuff behind. When I see my favorite records, I'm like, oh, I can't. You can't. If it's $3, it's coming home, dude. So,
yeah. It's different from I have a shop, but I used to keep. If they were just a little different, I would keep every copy. And with Zeppelin stuff, I do keep a lot.
Well, sometimes I'll trade them to friends, or sometimes I'll just give them to people if they don't have them. Sometimes I regret that. I gave a buddy of mine Full Moon Fever recently, and then I was like, man, I wish I still had that other copy of Full Moon Fever. But what are you gonna do? Yeah.
I just sold my mint pressing of Tom Petty Wildflowers.
Don't.
Shouldn't have. I've got a box, and the Wildflowers on that's supposed to sound better. I don't know if it does.
Yeah, man. Oh, boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. You don't know how it feels, man. You know what I'm saying? You do know how it feels. You know exactly how it feels. Yeah.
Where'd you get?
That's a hard record to get, That's a tough record to get. This is out of the box. I got the box.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the box?
I know that I'm like the harbinger of bad news to a lot of these guys, but I know for a fact, okay, Benmont Tench said as a fact that the original pressing is pulled off of CD, okay? It is not from tapes. The one in the box set is from tapes. And here's the other thing. They're probably going to come out with a reissue of this record when the family stops fighting about it. But it's not going to be in the original format. It's going to be a deluxe version, which, the record after this was actually going to be the second part of this record. So it's when they do the deluxe, it's going to be totally different. The sequencing and everything, it's going to be a totally different. It's not going to be like the original. This is, for all intents and purposes, just like the first pressing, except it's from the tapes. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people love that original first pressing of the Wildflowers record. They think it sounds incredible, and I can't argue that. I've never heard one. It's so super rare. I've never seen one in real life, so I know this sounds fantastic.
I will say this. So I got the box and I absolutely loved it, and I listened to Wildflowers all the time, and I was able to trade some things for the first pressing, and it was dead mint. Brought it home, put it on the turntable, and it was a little bit flat. So I sold it. And because my logic was, this one sounds better, and I'm going to reissue it, and the value's going to go down anyways. So I'm just going to sell it now if I can. I had somebody that gave me a very good offer for, sold it, boom, done. So I don't really regret it, but if I ever get a chance to get one for cheap once they reissue it, I will. But
yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean,
well,
first.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, Double B, it was so great to hang, and I love your videos.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't get a chance to watch a lot, but when yours come on, I do try to, because you speak my language, man. You're a guitar player. You recommend things I love, so I'm all over it.
I got to tell you, Dylan, when I first started making vinyl videos, I think it was in October of 2018, right? I think you were easily the first person to shout out my channel and say things to people about me. So, anytime you need me, I'll be there. You know what I mean?
I got you. Well, listen, you take care. Hang up the phone, but we can still talk. So, no, I'm not going to hang up the phone. I'm going to stop the recording.